What's up, guys? My name is Mitchell Watts, and welcome to the Bronco Nation. So welcome to this live stream. The Bronco Nation has actually asked me to moderate a live stream with some fine people that we're going to talk about here in just a second. But as you probably already know, there is some news that came out with the tops. I don't want to spoil everything, but what we'll do is before I introduce the rest of the people on this particular panel, tell you a little bit more about myself. So you may have seen me before. We've got a YouTube channel called Town and Country TV, where we customize vehicles. We customize Broncos, F-150s, but we also happen to be a Ford dealership in Bessemer and Pell City, Alabama. Got a lot of Broncos on order, and I'm just absolutely honored that the Bronco Nation has asked me to moderate this particular live video. So with that being said, we also have David from the Bronco Nation. Welcome. We also have Nick P from the Bronco 6G, if you haven't seen that. So welcome. We also have Will from Forge Overland, and who is also a Bronco ambassador. We have Tim from Ford Motor Company, and also Esteban from Ford Motor Company. So welcome, guys. We appreciate it very, very much. The whole idea behind this particular live stream is to talk about the communication that went out today, talking about the Bronco hardtops, the molded in color hardtops. Although I want to give a little bit of my initial thoughts, really I want to stay focused on what the facts are, what's going on, what's happening, what does this mean for you? Because as a dealership that's gotten a lot of reservations, a lot of orders, and we try and do our best to communicate to our customers, we understand there's a lot of things and a lot of easy places to get tripped up as far as communication is concerned. So with that said, we can either turn it straight to Ford and ask a couple of those guys their initial thoughts, or if you want, David, we can turn it over to you.
Well, let's make sure that we've got a couple things straight first. So what I'd like us to do is kind of go over, okay, what are the tops that we're talking about? What are the differences between them? And then a little bit about the timeline that's gotten us to where we are now. So that's what we're going to do. So obviously, here are the three tops that we're talking about, and I'll go through each one. So the first one was the mod hardtop. And the modular hardtop, it's painted black, it's glossy, it has removable rear windows, and has a portal up top as well. The next one is the Mick hardtop, which is what the news was about today. It's a molding color hardtop. It does not have removable rear side windows or a portal up top, but it does have the same color all the way through. So really rugged top. And then we have the soft top, which has a couple features that go along with it. It can tilt up in the back to give you some more clearance on the way in, and then it has a couple positions. You can fold it back, just the front part of it, and then you can get it all the way down to like a convertible position. So those are the tops that we're talking about, and now I'll take you through some of the history that we've had with the tops so far, so we're all on the same page. So the story of the Bronco Tops challenges started almost immediately after the reveal in July 2020. Launch materials included a number of top concepts and options that did not make it into final production. And then after launch, we started the long wait toward build and price. So Bronco's build and price tool is a story unto itself, but its debut also brought the news that the mod top and dual top options would not be available at launch, and they fell into the dreaded category of late availability. After Bronco build and price launched, we all waited till the ordering guide and ordering banks to open, and this happened in January of 2021. Ford also announced, and I wrote my Bronco delivery timeline article at the time, that the window for the first quarter of Bronco production would close on March 19th. Top questions remained, including questions about what equipment would be included with a Bronco soft top and whether a soft top Bronco would have the equipment included for adding a hard top later. At the time, Q1 of 2021, Ford stated that soft top Broncos would not have the required electrical connections and plumbing to install a hard top. As the March cutoff drew near, Ford announced that the mod and dual top options would be delayed to model year 22. Ford also announced that customers with MIC tops would all get the sound deadening headliner option as either a standard feature or no cost option in the case of marine grade vinyl interiors. Also in Q1 of 21, Ford told customers that had ordered by the March 19th deadline that they would receive an email in May that would contain a delivery estimate window for their builds. However, in May of this year, Ford announced that they would be unable to send that email, and the MIC top would be supply constrained, and keeping that option on your build would lead to further delays, or could lead to further delays. In June, the mod top and dual top options got moved to model year 23, and Ford announced that the hardtop prep kit option would be available that could make retrofitting your Bronco with a hardtop after you've taken delivery of a soft top easier, coming in September of 21. Last month, they extended the deadline for a hardtop prep kit, and the Bronco customer deliveries began. Almost as soon as Broncos made it to customers, issues with the top began to surface in Bronco forums. The lamination and other cosmetic options were noted, and now here in August of 2021, Ford has announced that they will replace MIC tops that have already been delivered to customers, and that most MIC top orders will be delayed to model year 22. So that's the timeline of where we've gotten to now. And so I'd kick it back to you, Mitch, to talk a little bit about what Ford has said they're going to do to deal with this issue.
Absolutely. So there's quite a few different things, that as far as, to actually fix the issue, there's, let me get it pulled up real quick. So as far as what Ford is going to be doing, they're doing a couple of different things. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the very first thing they're doing is they're going to be adding 100,000 Ford Pass points for purchasing Ford accessories. Whether it's wanting to add mats or any other kind of Ford accessory, they are definitely going to be doing that. Also, they're going to have price protection all the way through 2023. Now, there is a specific date that you have to have placed your reservation or your order from, and I think that date is March 19th. I'm going to lean on David just a second just to verify that date is correct. Is that correct, David?
Yeah,
that's correct.
We got that right,
okay,
Tim.
Perfect. Okay, I can't believe I got that right. So, okay. Also, free headliner on molded in color hardtops. So if you do end up going with the molded in color hardtop, that is a part of that satisfaction program was to take care of that. So props off to that. We've already talked a little bit about the free prep kit on 4-door soft tops, but keep in mind that is on vehicles that were scheduled for production in or after September of 2021. So that's very important to know that. And then also the Bronco off-rodeo. So they are giving an extra $250 voucher that you can use towards that Bronco off-rodeo if you wanted to bring someone else or what have you. You can use that $250 in that regard. And so those are some of the things that Ford has been doing to take care of that. I guess At this point, I'm going to look to Tim or Esteban, to kind of talk about, what specifically has happened.
Sure. Hey, Mitch, thanks. It's Tim Sonhing from the brand team here. First, just to address the customer sat actions that you went through. We know that it's no consolation to getting your Bronco sooner than what we're able, frankly, to deliver to you. One slight correction on the Ford Pass reward points. It's up to $1,100 worth, and really the encouragement there is recognizing the changes in some of the roof availability and the overall desire to accessorize and customize your Bronco when you get it. Hopefully, this gives you a nice little chunk of change to start doing that right off the bat. So we know it's no consolation. Frankly, it's embarrassing to listen to the rundown, Dave, that you started on the trip and journey that we've been on collectively. So we are apologetic for what's gone on, but to dive into the specific roof issues that we've seen, it's a appearance and quality concern that when these roofs have been exposed to extreme heat and then also humidity, which in Southeast Michigan, we've had a lot of over the last 45 days, there's been some appearance issues that have sprung up. And really the team did a deep dive and tried to understand, like I'm sure many of you are wondering, can we just ship the roofs from the plant out to the dealers and then replace the roof later? The decision was made because of the overall appearance of those roofs that we need to replace them before they're ultimately able to be delivered. But we know that there are order holders and customers that have received their Bronco and they're driving around enjoying them. We're watching and seeing you guys post pictures of them. And we certainly hope that you guys are taking advantage of it. And note that the issue that we've seen and identified isn't present in every single Bronco. So some of you may be wondering, I've got to make hardtop and have seen nothing. So the decision again was made to proactively go and do the replacements to ensure that down the road you guys don't experience anything, and that's just part of the overall quality and inspection process. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more texture on what's going on with the MIG hardtop, but happy to answer questions as they come up.
Absolutely. I guess at that point, we'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
All right.
Well,
everyone, Will from Forge Overland.
Well, I'm sorry. Right before we head off of that, though, there are a couple things that I wanted to make sure that we hit on with Tim and Esteban, and that is like, who are the affected groups here? So there were some things that came out today, and it's looking like it's not completely cut and dry. There's a couple different groups that people fall into. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a quick rundown. So there are four groups that we're addressing individually. The first are those that have taken delivery or actively will be taking delivery because their vehicle is either at the dealer or very close to the dealer. For those customers, they can continue driving and enjoying their Bronco. As I may have mentioned earlier, this is not a functional issue with the hardtop, but rather an appearance issue if it's exposed to that extreme water and humidity and starts to experience the quality issue that we flagged. Over the next few weeks, you'll be receiving a letter from Ford announcing that your VIN was part of the customer sat program, and a little bit more details on what you can expect in the way of timing. We're working with the roof supplier right now to ramp up the production of the new designed roof. And we'll have more details to share on overall timing then. So group one, again, keep enjoying your Bronco. You'll get a letter from Ford when it's time to go schedule that appointment with your dealer for them to order the replacement roofs, but we're working on that ramp up as we speak. Group two are vehicles that are built and,
Tim,
oh, yep.
Just on that one, right? We've said that we're supposed to start shipping those roofs in October.
Thanks, Esteban.
Yeah, from a timing perspective, I know everyone wants to know when.
So group two, those units are built and awaiting a new top at Michigan Assembly Plant. So unfortunately, the news for these customers is that their overall timing is going to be delayed. As Esteban mentioned, October is when we expect those replacement roofs to start coming at volume and sending these repaired units or replaced roof units out to dealers for final delivery. Group 3 are the customers that are either first edition owners, where the first edition, as you guys know, are exclusive to 21 model year, and we have committed to building through the rest of the first edition production within 21 model year, as well as units that you've received a scheduled date. So we know that in some cases, people that have had scheduled dates have seen multiple delay notifications. And that's as a result of the production plan kind of updating as it's digesting the new information around roofs and overall volumes. So for those customers, their overall production date is going to be delayed and impacted by this quality issue, as we are working through ramping up the production of the replacement roofs with the new design. And we need to do that first before we can build any more incremental Broncos off the line. So overall for them, their production timing is going to be delayed. But similarly, we anticipate that to start getting going in the October timeframe. And then lastly, the group of unscheduled order holders, we've had to make the decision that if you're a MIC order holder or hardtop order holder who has not yet received a schedule date, you are a 22 model year, and we've got our order banks opening for the 22 model year next month in September, where you'll have access to some new features, as well as special editions that we haven't announced yet, as well as some new color options. And I think Esteban will cover those in a little bit more detail. So for group 4, again, look for a call from your dealer and an email from us announcing just more details on the 22 model year ordering process next month in September.
There you go.
Fantastic.
So, back to you, Mitch.
Okay, fantastic. Well, with that being said, I guess we will jump back in with Will, and we will kind of go from there. Will, what you got for us? Did we lose
Apparently
Will?
I'm muted. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, I'm here to talk to you guys about why the experience is such a big deal between soft tops and hard tops. So everyone who's ever taken one of these vehicles off-road with a soft top knows the open air experience is life-changing. It's part of the vehicle's soul, and being able to go out there and be part of nature, take the doors off, take the tops off, that's a great experience. So anyone who has the opportunity to jump into getting a soft top and likes that style stuff definitely should. If you're looking for more so things that are like creature comforts, things like sound deadening, security, even more heat or cold endurance, hardtop's definitely going to be the way for you. And if you have questions based on those, you should definitely go to your Ford dealership and try and check out one of those vehicles and see what's the right option for you.
Absolutely.
It's one of those interesting things. Like soft tops exist for a reason. They've been on Jeeps for a long time. They were on Broncos for years and years as well. But obviously, the hardtop has been very popular. And
yeah, and everyone likes
that too.
Everyone likes hardtops for the exact reason of what they are. They're secure, and it's making the vehicle just like any other SUV. And the nice thing about these is that you can take them off if you have the opportunity to do so. It's very easy to do. Soft tops, like you said, easy to do, fun, nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else for Will? No? All right. Well, Nick, I guess Nick P, we'll go ahead and move on into you.
Sure, I'll hop in kind of right where he left off, actually. So one thing about soft tops is the security thing. And that's something that I really thought about because I actually changed my order to a soft top. What kind of convinced me actually is being able to do the rear enclosure, because that's kind of everyone's big thing. It's like, you can just cut through a soft top with a knife. Like, you really can't secure anything. But being able to do that rear enclosure, I took a look at a Jeep that had one, and it's made by the same company. I can't remember who exactly, but that's actually a really good solution if you're kind of on the fence, but you don't like that you can't lock up your stuff. Honestly, it's almost the exact same price to do a hard top versus doing the enclosure. So for me, I kind of just looked at that trade-off and was like, okay, I can get the security that I need by doing that.
And you're talking about the accessory enclosure piece, like the ones from Tuffy, is it?
Yeah,
that are
exactly,
in
the tough enclosure.
Yeah, that are in the accessory catalog. We saw them on the Overland build.
Exactly.
Seen a few other ones. Yeah.
And speaking from the dealer's experience, we've seen actually a lot of those accessories go through, and I can vouch for them 100%. That is a really, really nice way to secure it down, or even if you want to just run with a bimini top all the time, you have the ability if you've got that security closure. That's a very good point, Nick B.
I think there are a number of the different enclosure options in the catalog as well. And they're obviously broken out by 2-door and 4-door because they're different cargo area dimensions. But there's like one with a drawer, which I think has been pretty heavily profiled by the Bronco Nation. There are fixed lid ones, there are raised lid ones, and a bunch of them have different like molly grates inserted in them as well. So they offer kind of a bunch of different pieces of functionality.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's one really good reason to go with a soft top. And like you were saying, Will, that if you live in an area where it is nice, I'm out in Arizona, it's a pretty good option to be able to take the top down whenever you want, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's even fun to get caught in a rainstorm with the top down. Don't ask me how I know.
You gotta have the right mindset though.
Right.
Awesome. Well, anything else for Nick?
So I guess my next thing is it's asking how the community is feeling. So
yeah,
it's mixed, but I think people are happy to have an answer. At the end of the day, that communication that we're getting, I feel like people do appreciate that. And at least knowing, even like for my dad who has a hardtop black diamond on order, he's been like, when is this thing going to come in? It's like, now you've got an answer. It's definitely not till 2022. So to kind of have that answer and let people plan out a little bit, I think that'll kind of help alleviate some of the questions people have overall.
Yeah. Very good point. Very good point. Anything else? All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying, not right now.
Okay. So I guess what we'll do, let's go back to Tim and Esteban again. You guys got a couple things you want to go over with us?
Well, I think we kind of had some questions that we'd pulled out of the Q&A that we'd like to kind of talk to y'all about.
Okay.
And that's really what we're what we're going for here. So yeah.
Do you want me to go over those questions, David?
Yeah, why don't you run through them, Mitch?
Okay, perfect. Okay, so one of the questions is, what can I do to get my Bronco built sooner?
Yes, so Tim did a really nice job summarizing sort of the different groups of customers, right? So if you're in that second group where your truck is sitting at the assembly plant waiting for the new hardtop to get installed, there's not really anything, unfortunately, that you can do to expedite that. So the good news is your truck's gonna get a new hardtop in October, right? And it's gonna get shipped out. But there's not really anything we can do, unfortunately, to expedite that process. So that's kind of, for group 2, the situation that they're in. For customers who, and sorry, one other piece about that, we're gonna replace the hardtops on those vehicles first in, first out. So the oldest vehicles, the ones that were built first, are gonna get the first updated hardtops. For the next group of people, those who whose truck they have a confirmed build date, or they've been scheduled for production, but the truck hasn't physically been built yet. That's not a situation in which you can really do a whole lot from a customer point of view to expedite your order. Again, your truck's going to get built in the 21 model year, so you can, as Nick was saying, like, you have some certainty there, but that's just basically going to boil down to how the plant gets scheduled, and then kind of the same factors that were originally taken into consideration when your order was scheduled, right? Your reservation number and the commodities or the options that you selected on your vehicle. And then the one where customers do have some ability to affect when they're going to get their vehicle, the last group, those are customers who haven't been scheduled yet. And they might have a hardtop on order right now, and they really want to get their truck built in the 21 model year. The only way that they're going to get their truck built in the 21 model year is by, if they have a 4-door hardtop selected, is to switch it to a 4-door soft top. And then if you have a 2-door hardtop selected and you haven't been scheduled yet, the only way to get a 21 model year would be to switch that 2-door hardtop to a 4-door soft top. So I know those are some pretty stark options that our customers are faced with. And like Tim said up front, we're not thrilled about the situation by any means, but if you think that a soft top might be something that you could live with and you really want to get your Bronco out the door as soon as possible, definitely talk to your dealer about that. I know that David, you and your team are working on some content to try and describe the differences between a hardtop and a soft top that you're working on to help customers who might not have had as much hands-on time with the vehicles make some of those decisions. But that's kind of the high-level summary.
I'd like to point out that the soft tops that are coming out these days are totally different than the ones from the past as well. These are phenomenal tops. They're quiet. They're engineered really, really well. And it's really a lot more about the experience itself of running these vehicles. And if you have even just a second wanting to check out one of these soft tops, you should.
Absolutely. And that I'm going to go off script for just a second and talk about that, because most of the dealers are either already have or are getting a mannequin vehicle that customers can actually go check out. And I'd highly recommend that you do that, so that way you can kind of see what is the right fit for you. And we've got one out here with the soft top, and the number of people that walk up to me and say, you know, I wanted a hard top, but after seeing this, fill in the blank, they're actually happy with the soft top. So sorry to go off on a tangent there, but my next question for Tim and Esteban is, when we talk about if we don't make the changes, we don't pull that molded and colored hardtop off of the build, it's going to kick it out to 2022. What changes can we expect for 2022?
I can hit on those, Mitch. So we've confirmed a couple different new things for 2022. The first item that I think everyone's very excited about is a green exterior paint color.
Awesome.
So that is something that we've heard a lot of feedback on from you guys out there in the enthusiast world, wanting a green. So we heard you. It's coming for 22. And I know that I heard this feedback a couple times today, but a lot of people are uncertain about what the actual color palette is going to be for 22. You know, if green comes in, are we going to lose a different color? And is that the color that I really want? And I hope it's still in production for 22. So that was really good feedback that we heard today. We're going to take that away, and we're going to work to get those colors out quickly for everyone, so they can make an educated decision on that. Other items for 22, Sasquatch with a manual transmission. We announced that a ways back. I know that everyone's been asking for that. I can't wait to drive it. It's going to be awesome. Next up would be Sasquatch with the roof rack on the 4-door. Again, something that a lot of the overlanding folks or people who have larger items that they want to put on the top of the vehicle, they want to order that from the factory. We're going to make that an orderable configuration in 22. And then lastly, we do have some unique special editions that will be coming in 22. I can't talk about those today, unfortunately, but stay tuned.
I thought we were going to get him on this Zoom call. I thought we were going to talk him into it, but
as long as you keep my velocity blue, man.
Did I miss anything, Tim?
Man.
No, you got it, bud.
Absolutely. Okay, so my next question for you guys is, let's say the customer has got a Bronco on order and they want to ask some questions and they don't necessarily want to talk to their dealer. Who other than their dealer can they reach out to if they have questions?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we got to give an endorsement that you got to start with your dealer, and we encourage you to. One of the things that we've heard is there's been calls into the Bronco support team, but unfortunately, that team doesn't have the ability to do any order editing. So the dealer is your single point when it comes to anything related to your order. Now for this announcement today, just trying to again learn from the feedback that we're hearing as we go on, is we've just launched a new FAQ info hub for order holders, and we hope that you guys visit those, and we hope that it's answering the questions that are on your mind, because we do put a lot of time and effort into reaching out to not only our dealers, but our field teams to try to understand what the pulse of the customers are and what questions you guys have on your mind. So we're hoping to put that that resource out there as a self-help tool for you guys to get more information and more detail as well.
Very good. Well said. All right. So next question for you guys is, I've got a 2-door Bronco on order. It's got the MIG top. I don't want it. I want the 2-door, but I want a soft top. Is that possible?
At this time, it is not, unfortunately. As Esteban mentioned earlier, it is important to know, though, that we have and continue to build 2-doors within the model year. So just because we've had some of the challenges with the hardtop roof does not mean that we've not been producing 2-doors or even wild tracks for that matter. So unfortunately, at this point, 2-door, the MIG top is the only hardtop available for the Bronco at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Well, does anybody else on this particular panel have any other questions for Ford?
We do have
questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Nick. And then after that, I've got a few that are coming in from our socials.
Absolutely.
So first one, just to confirm. So if you have a VIN and scheduled with hardtop, there is no way that you can schedule it to a soft top. Is that correct? But it's unlit.
That's correct.
Okay, just want to confirm that. Now another question that I got.
But if you have, Nick, if you have the VIN, you're getting a 21 model year.
Okay, so guarantee by the end of the year, but you wouldn't be able to accelerate it by switching to a soft top. Okay, cool. Now, second one, I don't know if this is something that you guys could disclose. Would there be a possibility of like getting an estimate for what the hardtop will cost down the line? Like if you wanted to do that as a dealer accessory?
Yeah, unfortunately, Nick, we've heard this one loud and clear, and we've been working internally to try to develop that kit with the accessory team. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't have anything more to share. I think the one FAQ that we have put out is we anticipate availability of the accessory hardtop roof in the 23 calendar year once we have a chance to build through the initial order demand. And then additionally, we do have enough foresight to say that the overall cost, just because of the logistics of shipping a hardtop out to the dealers, the packaging, et cetera, that it likely will be more expensive than the production option.
That's logical.
Yeah, I know it's obviously pretty big and heavy, a little hard to ship. Not just something you put in a flat rate box, right?
Yeah. Just know though, guys, that we've heard that question loud and clear multiple times, even today. So we are working on it, and rest assured that yeah, the team is aware that that is a key variable to help that decision. Just don't have anything at this point to announce.
Okay. And then going into the 22 model year, so with kind of the overhaul that sounds like is going on with the tops, does it seem like things are going to kind of start trending towards you can build more hard tops as far as the ratio between hard top and soft top? Or is it still going to be a pretty heavily soft top bias type of thing for the foreseeable future?
No, I think the expectation is that we get to a point where Mick is deservingly the majority of the build. Going into 21 model year, we had the plan to do 80% hard tops, 20% soft tops. The reality, as it turns out, is that's probably now flip-flopped closer to 40% hard tops, 60% soft tops. So that ratio has changed inversely for 21 model year, but we do forecast for 22 that we'll be back on that initial plan. But we will continue to have opportunities for those looking to get their Bronco sooner to order a soft top, just because the existing order mix is skewed much heavier to the hard top, which is why we keep reiterating that, you know, if you're willing to consider a soft top, and we certainly encourage you to go, as the guys said, go see one at your dealer, go join us at one of the events around the country. to try to see, touch, and feel and use it personally. But for 22, we do anticipate a production number with soft tops that would have that same guidance hold true, that if you want your Bronco sooner, certainly ordering a soft top is going to help you do that.
It's all going to depend, Nick. I mean, we've talked about how we're investing a bunch of money to increase throughput of the hardtop, right? So that stuff doesn't happen overnight. And so, as Tim was saying, how that ratio shifts over time is going to depend on how quickly we can bring that increased capacity online.
Okay. Well, very good information, guys. I appreciate that. So with that being said, unless we have any other questions, if we don't, I'd like to kind of just go into a little bit of a roundtable discussion, just kind of getting everybody's opinions, their thoughts on what you guys think about the news, the everything that's going on, really. So unless we have any other questions, what do you guys think?
Well, we do have a few questions that have come in from our socials and from the forums and those sorts of things. So
let's
love to throw a few of those out. So a little off topic, but on the minds of folks is, where's the slide out tailgate?
Yep, that's a great question. So slide out tailgate will be available starting in 22 as a factory orderable option. So that's how people will be able to get their hands on it.
And then how are the units that are currently being held for new tops being prioritized? So some people think they're at MAP, they're actually at other places, but those ones that are being held for those new tops, how are those prioritized? Is it still timestamp? Is it still what it was before? They're just waiting on the part.
Yeah, I can take that one. So we will be working with the plant teams to prioritize oldest built first. So that'll be the order that they are replaced and then ultimately released.
Okay. And then for model year 22 vehicles, obviously, I think y'all have said before that model year 21 will extend longer than Ford vehicles normally do. When should folks expect model year 22's shipping?
So right now, production for 22 starts right at the end of this calendar year. So we anticipate deliveries and arrivals beginning in first quarter of 22.
Okay. And then for our folks who are asking questions, I want to acknowledge that we did get the question about 21 model year colors that may or may not disappear for 22. They've said that they've heard that feedback. If in case you're just joining us, they've heard that feedback and are taking that back to their teams. So those are the ones that we've got, Mitch. So
okay, I was going to say, if we had any other good questions, then let's definitely hit that. I will tell you one thing, speaking from the dealer, and I'm kind of just speaking from the hip here, but one thing I've noticed in interacting with customers today after they received the emails, some people were confused, thinking that if their vehicle was already built, it's sitting at Michigan Assembly Plant and it has a soft top already on it, they were thinking that those soft tops also needed to be replaced. So I guess I'm more or less teeing the ball up, and I think I already know the answer to the question. I just want to clear the air that this is only for MIC tops. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, good call out, and apologies for not calling that out proactively.
No,
yeah.
I think you guys did. I wanted to make sure that we did it again, because like I said, I've had throughout the day, I've had a lot of people call me, confused about their soft top. So I just wanted to make sure this is a MIC top only concern. So with that being said, David, unless you have any other questions from the community itself, let's jump back into this roundtable and talk about just in general, what overall thoughts.
Yeah, and I think we can go ahead and let Esteban and Tim go ahead and head out. I know y'all are busy. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, and keep us informed.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you joining.
Yep. Have a good one.
See ya. Thanks.
Have a good one. All right.
All righty. Now it's just us.
All right. So, well, fantastic. So now I guess you guys, Bronco 6G can tell us what you really think, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
You can
Now
go
that
read
Ford's
that
gone,
yourself
you can
if
tell
wanna
us how
see it.
you really feel. No, all jokes aside. All jokes aside. I guess let's just go ahead and jump into that round table and what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag for sure. It's something where it's necessary, is what I would call it, to get answers and to say, okay, this is what's going to happen. And I didn't address a couple of the questions. I had some people say, hey, what about my vehicle that, it just got built, stuff like that. Just from what they were saying, it's pretty much like there are three categories of currently built or about to be built vehicles. You can't really deviate from that, because as soon as you allow one deviation, there's going to be 1,000, and it's just going to make things even more complicated. So it seems like they've got one plan and they're just sticking to it.
Yeah. And one thing I'd encourage people, like, this is going to be a developing situation. Is a shameless plug as a forum moderator, but like, check out the Bronco forums, like all of them that are out there. There's a ton of them that do a really good job of staying on top of this information, cataloging it, and like hop in and ask some questions and join the conversation about it, both at Bronco Nation and elsewhere, because that has been a huge part of the community over the past year, and sharing information and getting it out there. So jump into
Absolutely.
a forum.
The internet is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, at least if we're gonna have to wait, we can laugh while we wait, right? We can look at all the memes and see all the crazy things people say.
That's the main reason I joined, is just for the memes.
Yeah. But I also had a question for Will. I mean, Will, you're with Forge Overland, and long range adventure, self-sufficient travel has been a big part of what you do. Like hardtops, why is that important there? I mean, it seems like there's some obvious reasons, but just so that we're clear, and why some of this might be affecting people's plans.
Yeah, sure. I mean, hardtops are great. That's definitely my my cup of tea. I don't really care for soft tops all that much, because I want my vehicle to be quiet. I want it to be secure, and I go places. I've always been part of this overland group where you're going out, you're doing long distance travel. So you're going to be taking, food with you, supplies, gear, everything with you, because you're living out of your vehicle. So security is paramount in that situation. As well as, you're going to be going through dozens of different, climates, elevations, things like that, inclement weather. It's nice to be able to count on having that as your habitat that you're living with inside of. That said, like I said before, soft tops are still great if that's the experience that you're wanting to have.
Yeah.
Anyone who's ever driven a Jeep with the top off, or the window down, or windshield down, or the doors off, knows that it's like riding a motorcycle. And once you get that in your blood, you can't get it out.
Because they exist for a reason. Like, there's a reason they've been around for a long time. It's not, from
they're
Jeeps
easy,
way
they're
back
compact.
when to now.
Yeah, and well, another thing too, like from my days as an off-roader, a lot of people would have soft tops because they would be hardcore driving their Jeeps off-road and leaning their roll cages up against rocks or trees or something like that. And everyone knows that a fiberglass Jeep top is not very durable. So, a lot of people would have soft tops where they just roll them down and, screw the roll cage, we're going to slam it into whatever's next.
Well, and this is one thing that I wanted to bring up. I've talked to a lot of because once again, we've got a lot of orders at our dealership. But one of the things that one of my customers came up with an idea, and I was like, well, he actually makes a lot of sense, is the Bronco is one of the most hyped vehicles in a very long time, if not my entire career, my 21-year career. But the thing that he pointed out to me, he said, I'm going to go with the soft top because I'm banking on the fact that, yes, Ford is probably going to make the better quality top, better OEM fit and finish. But, sometime maybe in SEMA, which I think is in November, there's no telling what the aftermarket might come out as far as an aftermarket top. And I know Ford probably doesn't want to hear us talking about that, but, it's my job to talk honestly, but there might be a better aftermarket hardtop available than what is currently available through the MIC top. It's something to think about anyways. So anyways,
another good point to make on that is there's going to be plenty of people who decide they don't like their soft tops, and plenty of people that don't like their hard tops. And there's going to be Craigslist and marketplace listings all over
all over the place. That's a very, very good point. All right, so let's see here. Next topic on the roundtable. What are you guys hearing from the community and the customers, especially those forums?
Nick, you got your foot in both. So
Well, I'm going to address a comment just because I feel like I should. So someone said, you guys took it easy on Ford. And it's not about taking it easy on Ford. It's about getting answers. Like this roundtable, it wasn't to like berate Esteban or Tim. It was to get answers that are practical answers that are going to inform people about how they need to move forward. Like Ford has clearly made their decisions about what's going to happen. We can only ask about what is going to happen. We're not going to influence that, and being mean isn't going to change anything, and complaining. So that's what I want to make clear, that this is what this was for, was to get answers for people. And hopefully we at least got some to clear things up a little bit and give people a path forward per se.
Very good point. Anything else?
Just as we're looking forward to what we're going to kind of make next as far as content, like there's going to be there are all these questions out there now. They're going to have a lot more people who are living with a soft top than they probably intended to. And for a lot of those folks, it's probably the first time that they're going to be in a soft top vehicle. And that's one of the interesting things about Bronco, is that it's drawing in like all these people from other types of vehicles. And there are questions out there, and our team has started kind of putting together some material on it. But the big thing is, what's it going to be like to live with these things? And, if I'm in Arizona, where old Nick P is, and it's 100+ degrees outside and I'm in a soft top, what is it like to jump in there and turn on the air conditioning? How quickly does it get cool? What does the care and maintenance for a soft top necessarily look like? So I think that's one of the things that, the community needs to start helping people find the answers for. All over the place. Because even myself, like I haven't had a soft top vehicle before, and it kind of makes you think. Like, obviously, as I've said multiple times on here, they exist for a reason. People seem to like them. Jeep's been selling them for an awful long time, and exploring what those reasons are.
Very good point. I will tell you, this is not a review of the Bronco, but every Bronco I've ever been in has got a fantastic air conditioner. Those tiny little vents on that dash, yeah, it doesn't have the vents in the back, but or it doesn't have the vents in the center console in the back, but the vents, the AC vents in that dashboard put out a ton of air. I'm very, very pleased with the 3 or 4 or 5 different ones that I've been around. Ford did a good job there, so I think it'll have an easier time cooling down that soft top than I originally had thought. So. Good points, David. All right, so let's see here. Do we have any questions? Unless we have any other questions, specifically from community and customers. I kind of already talked about some of the customer questions, like the soft top, thinking that they had to have replaced the soft top. But I don't really think I have a whole lot more to cover as far as questions from customers. Unless you guys have something from the community, let's talk about questions from the Bronco Nation forum. You guys have any specific questions there?
Well, we went through some of them, and those are the ones that I picked out. Okay. I don't know if you've got any from your neck of the woods, Nick, because there's also a lot of information that's already been put out about this. Like Ford has released the Q&A both on their support site, and then most of the Bronco sites have also put that out, in addition to the information that's been sent to dealers and that sort of thing. So make sure you check in on there. We're going to be doing articles and content on that, but there might be something that I'm missing. And Nick, I don't know if you've been able to compile any of those.
No, I wrote down some general questions, which are the ones I asked. The main one that people were asking was, if I have a VIN, can I change things? And they made that pretty clear. That's not going to be an option. So at this point, they've kind of let everyone know, hey, this is what category you're in. And that's kind of how things are going to go going forward at this point.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, unless you guys have anything else, I kind of wanted to just get a general conclusion, talking about, wrapping it up, what our thoughts and feelings, my thought process as far as the thoughts and feelings. Is this fun? Absolutely not. Is this the news that anybody wanted to receive today? Absolutely not. But and I can't speak for. I'm talking from a dealer's perspective and also an outsider that has no association with Ford, because I don't work for Ford. I think this is the right call. Ford found an issue. They notified the issue, and they're doing what they can to fix the issue. So once again, I'm not just a Ford diehard, but I do feel like that they're doing everything that they can. So any other conclusion, or feelings, and just a wrap up on the thoughts themselves from the rest of you guys?
I mean,
Nothing
it
from me.
sucks,
Yeah.
but if a hardtop is what you want, wait for it, because I mean, these are expensive vehicles and you're spending your hard-earned money on it. And if that's what you want, wait for it. And it sucks, but that's the right call.
Good things come to those who wait, right? The glass is half full.
Yeah.
trying to be positive.
Something like that.
Okay, well, I guess with that, I'm going to send it back to you, David.
Well, great. Thank you so much, everybody who was with us. Thank you so much, guys, for joining our group here. It's always nice to get some different members of the community together to talk about things. And like we said, we realize this is frustrating and this isn't great, but please let us know if you'd like to see more of these in the future. Please pay attention to the different sites that are mentioned. We got Will at Forge Overland on Instagram. We've got Mitchell Watts at Town and Country TV on YouTube and also on Instagram. And then got Bronco Nation here on YouTube. Obviously, you seem to have found us. And on Instagram and a number of other platforms. And then Nick and Bronco 6G, the Bronco 6G forum that is out there on the internets as well. So thank y'all so much for being with us. And good night and good luck. We'll see y'all.
Thanks for hosting us.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you, Bronco Nation, for having us. We appreciate it very much. And thank you to everybody that's watched today. We appreciate it very much.
We'll see y'all.
Peace.